Your growth is never a solo journey. It's shaped by the people who guide you, support you, and walk alongside you. With this thought, a very warm namaste to everyone joining us today. I am Mahi, and along with my co host Vanessa, it's an absolute pleasure to welcome you all to session 1 of ANON Ki Paathshala Season 4.
Hello, everyone. We are truly excited to see such an enthusiastic audience with us today. Session 1 हमेशा special होता है because it sets the tone for what follows. Welcome to Anon Ki Paathshala Season 4, a space where learning is not just about skills but about people, purpose, and possibilities.
In today's fast moving world, we often focus on degrees, skills, certifications. But what we sometimes overlook is the quiet power of community, the guidance of mentors, and the doors that networking can open. Today's session is about understanding why who you grow with matters just as much what you learn.
It is our absolute privilege to introduce Ms. Pallavi Agrawal. Pallavi ma'am is the founder and CEO of Solutions, a Salesforce consulting and enablement firm working closely with non-profit, MSMEs, and impact-driven organizations. She is a Salesforce certified business analyst, administrator, CPQ specialist, agent force specialist, and a Salesforce marketing champion. With hands on experiences in digital transformation and program management and technology for good.
Beyond her professional achievements, what truly makes Pallavi Ma'am's journey inspiring is her role as a community builder and mentor. She served as a community group leader for the Salesforce nonprofit user group Jaipur and as a Salesforce community advisory board member. Through initiatives like Speaker Launchpad, she actively mentors aspiring professionals, first time speakers, and career attorneys.
Her journey from a homemaker to a Salesforce professional and entrepreneur reflects her resilience, continuous learning, and a deep commitment to giving back. She strongly believes in the power of community, mentorship as a growth catalyst, building meaningful human connections through technology, etc. And today, she joins us to speak on power of community, mentorship, and networking. Pallavi ma'am, the virtual stage is all yours.
My God, thank you so much for that wonderful, wonderful introduction. But first of all, I would really like to thank every one of you for having me here. It is a great privilege and honor to be here with Ananki Pathshala and speaking on something which is really, really close to my heart. So, hi everyone. I'm Pallavi Agrawal. As already mentioned, that I'm a founder of Pallavi Solutions Private Limited. But let me tell you one thing that when I began, I was not somebody who's having, pretty big titles or even the strategy, or I can say, nor the confidence. I just didn't had in me that I can say that I belong here in the Salesforce ecosystem. Now, where I am on the community advisory board and so many other accolades which I hold. So when I was starting my journey, I was one of you, like, I don't think I belong here. I didn't have that courage to say that I belong here. But what I did have at that point of time was curiosity. And I would really like you all also to be present today with that curiosity in the moment. Whatever we are going to be sharing today, let it flow as a conversation instead of just I am telling you something or, one way communication. No, because what we are going to talk about today is community, mentorship, and network. And neither of the three exist without communication. So let it be a two-way communication between you and us so that we know that you are also, you take back few feedbacks, you take back few tips from this conversation, what I'm going to share. This is all what is I have learned during my journey of professionalism, which was not introduced in my introduction was that I'm also a mother of two beautiful and independent kids. As Aarti ma'am suggested, that everybody thinks that they are amazing parent. I take pride in that as well. So my daughter is in grade 12. She just got in Oxford and Brown University, and I'm pretty proud of it. And my son is still in grade 8. So yes, while being in the professional field, that is another area where I'm working and learning from everybody around me. Yeah, tech team, we can go to the next slide. What are we going to talk? We have already shared. How many of you are familiar with the terms like community? Maybe you can just pop up, the answers in the chat. Can we do that? Great. How many of you think what is mentor? Do not just pop your answers, quickly. Just take your time, be calm, take your time, think about it. How many people have you come across has played some role, some, that could be minor role or major role in transforming the way you are today? Take a moment, then maybe type an answer in the chat, and then we'll see that if it aligns with us all in or not. So when we are talking about mentor, we are first talking about mentor here, then we'll come back to the community. So why I'm saying mentor first, because बहुत साल पहले हमें किसी ने कहा था ना ऐसे कि गुरु गोविंद दोनों खड़े काके लागू पाए, बलिहारी गुरु जाए आप में गोविंद दियो दिखाए. तो हमें जो गॉड का पाथ है वो भी वी the God path is also shown to us by our mentor. So that is why we are talking about mentor first. I don't know how many of you think that how many people, or you can have only one mentor, two mentor, or what do you think about the mentorship? But according to me, there can be multiple mentors. I will tell you how many kinds of mentors you can have and up to how many you can have. But your mentor can be your teacher, your friend, that can be a stranger who actually believed in you when nobody did. So when I'm talking about a teacher, I'm talking about my trainer. Like, we were friends, but it turned out that they became my trainer when I was starting my professional journey after a gap of 15 years, when I was coming back into the professional field in 2021. They were there to guide me, to train me, to be my friend on the side. And they were actually total strangers before that, right? So, when I'm talking about a stranger, I have another example. I'm running my company right now. Our CEO currently is Rutvik. So, he is the one person. When I was starting, I was like by myself. So he is one person. We didn't know each other much. It's like we just connected on LinkedIn and we spoke few words that this is the idea I'm coming up with. I'm doing it like independently and individually for so long, but I need a support when I'm starting something this big. He just trusted me blindly and he came in all. All means he just gave up his job and everything and he came in as a support from the day one in Palanable. So it's kind of, magic sometimes how a stranger turned your biggest support in the times of when you need it. Right? But you have to just open up. What is your idea? What are you thinking? You need to be a really good communication expert, or maybe you need to communicate what you're thinking in a way you think that is better. Or maybe there is one person who can just simply listen. That can also be a mentor. For me, it is like my mentors are pretty great at listening. I am also a pretty great listener if it comes to. I have been mentoring a lot of people now. And fortunately, I have been blessed to be, given a great mentor tag also by them. And it is just that listening to them, like they just ping me on LinkedIn and ma'am, we will need a guidance. I need a job. I need a guidance. I'm not able to crack a job. So what I'm just doing is going on a call with them for 15 minutes, asking them what they need and telling them to just track what they have. So, mentor is somebody who can be even a listener. Your parents can be your mentor. At some point of time, your sibling must have listened to you carefully and given you some advices. They can be your mentor. And even when you are struggling with the health challenges, so your health, you might be having some yoga coaches or you might be having some diet coaches, those can be your mentor too. In my opinion, or in my understanding till now, you can have up to 7 mentors in your life, which is a good way to balance your life in all the skills, in all the areas of your living parameter. Professional, you can have professional mentors. In personal life, you can have your parents as mentors. In your social life, you can have your friends as mentors. In your health regime, you can have your coaches as your mentors. So this goes up till 7 for me, and as a standard pattern where I have read it. So be sure that you have your mentors on your chart. Yeah, tech team, we can go to the next slide. Thank you. So, yes, this is one more thing I wanted to talk to you about when we are talking about mentor. Why I was able to make it from a homemaker to a tech leader. How my mentors have guided my path from what I was doing and now what I'm doing. It was a long career break, as I mentioned. It was a 15 years of a gap when I started. And I was pretty, unsure that whether I will be able to do it or I will need more support in it. But self-doubt is very, very, normal to have when you are starting something which is varied, which is large, huge, and which is an unexplored area of your life. So do not fear that self doubt. It is okay to have, but make sure that you are able to communicate that fear, that doubt to your mentors at least. Because they are the ones who are going to tell you how to navigate through it. Maybe they won't hold your hands, they won't tell you to do exactly what the steps are to follow it, but they will definitely guide you how to navigate through it. So restarting from zero was not a easy feat for me. It was like, you have become a mother for a first time, or you are going in a professional field for a first time. You're going as an intern. It's like you don't know what are the ethics in the corporate world. So you do learn it day by day. Learning in public is the best way. Why I'm saying this? Because we are coming to the community part after this, that how learning can convert a better learning when you are surrounded by the right people. So I'll share just few lines about how the first community that held me was so much important for me. I was starting my career in 2021. So 2022 was the first time when I was, actually face to face with the community. There was one event happened that was a Women in Tech event happened in our ecosystem from where I come. And certainly or suddenly, I just got a call from one of the organizers of the event. Would you be able to hold a space, one space as a host or as a coordinator of the breakout rooms? I i was like, okay, as I mentioned earlier, that I come with a very curious mind and go to attitude. I have never been to any events, never ever been to any professional or conference events. Trust me when I say never, it was never, because I come from a very, you know you can say very desi family of Agarwals, where we are like only into the business, no professional, nobody has that professional career in the background. So we have never seen that kind of environment earlier in my life. It was my first ever event. I was hosting one of the rooms filled with people who have an average experience of 10 years or 15 years. It was kind of just because I was curious, how will it be? See, there are two things in life you have to understand. Either you carry fear or you carry curiosity. So it is your choice how you want to turn it your way. When we talk about community, community is one place where you make sure that you just show up, because there are all the people are like you, maybe in some or the other way. They are also there to help or maybe seek help, right? Everyone is there either to help or seek help. So make sure that when you are there, when you are with your community, your people, to grab that essence of the presence. We call it essence of the presence because if you cannot be present in the moment, that is a very risky way of living a life. Right now, if I am here, I'm 100% here. I won't be somewhere else. I won't be taking a challenge कि पीछे कुछ हो रहा है या let that be. We can tackle it later. But when we are here to learn something and I'm here to deliver something. I will make sure that you take few trips from here, and when you have those tips in your pocket after this session, you make sure to implement those in your life, because those are going to help you navigate yourself in the world in a better way. I am not sure how many, like what age group currently we have, but I'm guessing it is just like college pass out people and a few years of experience people out here. That is my, overall assumption. Like we have an average uh, careers of 3 or 4 years, everybody. That's what I'm thinking, and I'm assuming that way, and then I'm delivering this. So there the community there is to welcome you, to accept you how you are, and to share the knowledge they have or unlearn from you what you have. So make sure you do not let those conversations go in vain. Make sure when you are at a community or you are in a part of a community, throw the questions which could be as stupid as asking uh, how many tags are there in the Google, or how many, like, where is the URL to be pulled from. Those, even those silliest questions are more than welcomed and answered in the community when you are. Depending on the which community you are asking, you cannot ask about the Google URL going to the coffee community. So just around which community you are in, so just go about it like I am a part of one of the coffee communities. And I keep asking all those silly questions. Why do we need crusher? Can't we just grind it in the mixer like coffee grinder? Why do we need, specified coffee grinder? It is so much of a waste. Then they try to explain that how it is different, how it tastes different. So nobody is judging you in the community. That is the best part of the community. Now, while we are talking about people, while we are talking about how growth is happening mostly from, the people around, community is one thing which comes to my mind first. When I told you that I was, I was coming in in the professional field, having my doubt that do I belong here or not? That's the one thing which gave me the direction. That first event when what I attended was like full of people. I think it was almost 1,000 people who attended that event. And trust me, I didn't know even a single person except two or three who were actually my mentors and my colleagues in that a company where I was getting trained. That's all. Nobody else. I didn't know why all the people are, getting picture with certain people. I was like, why are they so fancy about getting a picture with that particular person? But this is what community is. And then they were also welcoming everybody. So I was like, this is pretty amazing. One person is sharing all their knowledge, and then the crowd who's sitting in the audience are listening to them. This is like pretty new experience for me. But what I understood is when I was hosting that, I was listening to them as also carefully. They don't get anything back when they are sharing, right? They're just sharing their knowledge, what they have gained over the years of 15 years of 20 years of the experience they have. And the audience are carefully listening how these things are done. Like somebody's speaking on a particular topic, and then the other person is speaking on the other topics. But everybody in that room was very, very cautious about the things which were shared. And what was more amazing is the questions which were coming in were like apt, like thoughtfully curated questions which make the speaker feel like, okay, they listened carefully. That's why they were able to frame the questions carefully. So make sure when you are in the community, it is not just that you are there to, just ask questions. Make sure that you listen when somebody is sharing something. Make sure that you are answering sometimes when you have gained that knowledge from somebody else. So make it a shared space, safe space for everybody when you are a part of a community. So it's not just for learning, it's for growing courage also. As in my introduction it was shared that I host one of the my initiative is the speaker launchpad, where we create a safe space for, we just handpick 15 people at a time, where we actually tell them how you can choose your topic first, how you can be, confident enough to go on the stage for that first time, how you can think of this 15 people quad is your safe space. Because moving to 1,000 people in the first go is a little hesitant. But when you are in a closed group of 15, you can have each one's introduction, and then conversation becomes like fluid, so they becomes easier. So even if you are hesitant today to go into the community which has a bigger size, create your own community. Maybe try to chat with people in this present group and talk to them. Let's connect on LinkedIn. Let's connect outside this. Let's connect on the ANON ki Paathshala WhatsApp. So make sure that you start the conversation to create your space and make it of learning fun. If you are having some questions, just pop them to them. And if they have any questions, make a safe space for them to question you back. So this part is pretty amazing. I can tell you why I chose to share about the mentors with you, what role my mentors have played in my life, and how you can actually enhance your skills by just sharing your, difficulties, by just sharing your progresses with your mentor. They can always tell you that you can do it. They might not just they might not hold your hand to the end point, but they can tell you that you can do it, you have the things to do it, but you'll have to do it, right? They will navigate you with the skill set, right skill set needed for it, but they won't feed you with the spoon. The mentors are the people who will be working as an accelerator for your skills which are within yourself currently. So, see, your yoga teacher won't exercise for you, right? He will not do stretching with you, or like holding hands and then stretching all the 1 hour if you are there, right? But he will guide you once that this is the stretch you have to do, and now do it 20 times. So, that's what mentors do. They will tell you how it is done, but you have to do it. Because every person is different. You cannot be your mentor, or your mentor cannot be you. Maybe your mentor has an IQ level of 134, but you have an IQ of 100. So it doesn't make you any less of your mentor, but it just makes the process which you are going to follow is your individual journey. So own that journey, make sure that you share it with your mentor, and then mentors will guide you, tell you that you have it in you. My mentors have done explicitly amazing job. I have two mentors for my professional journey, and as a friend also, I have them. And trust me, I have navigated from my toughest time in my life with them. You can have mentor, confidante, or whatever you want to call them, friend, or you want to call them professional guide, or you want to call them, you know, whatever name you give them. It's just that you need to be really, really grateful for what they're doing to you. I was like unknown to a Salesforce ecosystem totally, and they are coming with an experience of 20 years in Salesforce. So it was pretty much a time when after each meeting with them, I'm coming, out, and I was having teary eyes because I was told, why didn't you do it? Till now, it is not done. You're not doing your best. This is not the way. So after each meeting, I've cried for half an hour for sure. For sure. It has been for sure. It's like my one mentor gave up on me and gave me to the other mentor. They both were like friends, like, I can't handle her. So it was just their strategy to make me my better self. At that point of time, I was actually cursing them, to be very honest, internally, but eventually I realized that was for my good. I was given 2 months time to prepare for something so difficult. And I wasn't even told that this is difficult to do. I was just told, you can do it. You did this one, na? You do this also, 2 months time. I was like, maybe, ho sakta hai, itna hi hoga. I did it. And then when I did it, I was doing it. It took me like 16 hours per day of learning while have other works also, like my kids, school dropping, picking, and everything else, cooking, and everything else going on. I had to sit and study for 16 hours because I've been told to do something 2 months ke time mein, and I have to give this certification. So I was like, what is this insane thing? But then if it is doable, it is doable. But when I did it, later on, when there are like other people coming up and saying, this was the difficult one, how did you do it in such a short time? You just gave the other certification set. So I was like, I don't know, some opening was there for this role. I thought I should do it. I was told to do it in 2 months. So because they knew me better than myself. So sometimes you might curse your mentors, but it is for your own good what they are doing or guiding you for. So make sure to, even if you have missed thanking them that time, make sure after this session you call them or message them, maybe tomorrow morning or tonight, that thank you for being there and actually pushing me to do my best. So they will walk beside you, they will not leave you, but they will make you your best self. That is called a mentor. Tech team, can we go to the next slide? Thank you. So while we have spoken about networking and then we have spoken about community and then mentoring, what comes next is the peer learning. And now why we are talking about peer learning, because now you have community in hand, now you have guide in your hand. So you want to make yourself better. What will you do with all the resources you have now? You want to learn more, you want to grow yourself more. So what are the chances that you pick few people from that networking group you have and you create your own learning process with them? So that's called peer learning. Like you sometimes happens when you say ki, okay, let me do this challenge in 10 days, but somehow you keep on, you know, procrastinating कि नहीं आज नहीं कल कर लेंगे कल नहीं कल कर लेंगे. But when you have a peer learning, it's kind of a peer pressure. Okay, what did you do today? Okay, let's do this challenge today. You show me, by the end of the day we will each other show what we done. So this is like basically pushing you to do what you are capable of doing in a better way. And then peer learning is also important because sometimes it's like it's very reversing, or it is very limiting to ask some questions in a wider audience. So maybe you can just ask your peer, do you think it is possible? Do you think we can do this that way? So sharing mistakes openly, like मैंने वो try करा वो work ही नहीं करा. Like you can say it to one person openly instead of saying it to 100 people, right? But there are so many things which don't work actually, but we are just hesitant to share it in the wider audience, which I can tell you you should be sharing, because failures are not just failures, they are the actual learning curves in your life. If you even realize जब भी आपने कोई मिस्टेक किया होगा तो ज्यादा सीखा होगा, इंस्टेड ऑफ जब वो एक ही बार में कोई चीज कर लिया, because you learn the two ways of doing that thing, two ways of not doing that thing maybe. So it gives you a better learning curve. कई बार वो जब कोड वर्क नहीं करता है, तो हाउ वी डू इट कि कोड, ओ इस वाले बग से तो कोड वर्क नहीं करा, इससे भी नहीं करा, तो 49 बग्स, मतलब 49 ट्रायल्स के बाद भी कई बार कोड वर्क नहीं करता है, तो वो 50th टाइम जब वर्क करता है तो लगता है, पता चल गया दीज 49 विल नॉट वर्क. एंड इफ यू वुड हैव डन फर्स्ट टाइम में ही वो 50th वाला, तो फिर यू वुडंट नो 49 थिंग्स वो नहीं करनी है आगे. That's why we say that peer learning is so much important, because you are learning twice as fast when you are in the peer circle. And yes, while we are talking about that, how everything happens when we are in a space where community is, now we have mentor also, now we know what is peer learning also, how all these things are created, even if it is not created yet. It is created through network. So you might have some people in your network who are your school friends still. You might have some people in your network who are, who are with you, who were with you in college, or probably whom you met in social gatherings with your parents. So the people you meet along the way of journey of life are your network. And it's like just 5-10 seconds of the conversation you might have had with them, but you left an impact to them. That's more like I call network, not exactly LinkedIn Connect. Those are आजकल flooded, like सबका 10,000 15,000 ऐसे network connections होते हैं. But it is not what I call network. I call network when it is like you have met somebody in person and have spoken for at least 15-20 seconds of length. That is for me is one person you have built in your community and network. And I won't say network just build trust. It is just built by trust. It is actually built by the real conversations and showing up consistently, like how many times you are there with the event, if it is happening. So how many times, like जैसे मैम ने बोला कि अभी हमारे पास ये सेशन चल रहे हैं. I think we are going to have 5 or 6 sessions, but whosoever will attend at least 4 sessions will get a certification. Why? Because we want to make sure that you are not just attending these sessions, you are making this as a habit and a network you are creating, because the participants who are here today with us, we want all of you also to have and meet each other, like take them as your network, because in today's time what we call, it's not network, it's like net worth. What you are creating, network is equal to your net worth. You should have one person, like if somebody suddenly not suddenly, I won't recall that example, but let me call the example. See, if I want see, one at one time my Masi was here for her checkup. She had a cancer earlier last year, and then I wanted an appointment with this doctor, which is like pretty hard to get in. So I have another friend who is a doctor who met me in a yoga class. So it's like pretty versatile place to meet a doctor. Like it's not very easy place to meet doctors. Don't do yoga classes. They have their duties and all. But she's like, I met her there and we clicked and we became friends. And I didn't know that time, like 6 saal pehle, that I would need her help somewhere or not. But suddenly then I recalled her and I told her that I need an appointment with this doctor. I'm not getting in. Then she called her assistant. Her assistant called that doctor's assistant. And then how, the circle works of network. Try to understand that. I'm just, sharing all this because you don't know what works when. I did not made a friend because I would need her sometime. We just became friends because we
Mhm.
liked each other. We spoken to each other. So we become. And then after 5 years, that having her in a network of mine helped me with an appointment with unreachable doctor. So that is why I'm calling ki network is equals to your net worth in current time. Make sure that you show up for them consistently. You are you are there to be available without expecting anything. Of course, that goes without saying. We are here all today without expecting anything. I am there. Aarti ma'am ye sab kar rahe hain. They are arranging so many workshops for you all to just learn, to just grow in your, आपके प्रोफेशनल करियर में it helps you how to be present more. Why these things are so important, you should learn. Can we go to the next slide, Akteen? So as I already shared, that how networks open doors for so many opportunities, so many collaborations. I have met few people, earlier. So for me, entering in the Salesforce ecosystem was also through my friends. They were running a hiring drive for their company and they wanted a helping hand. They did not have one more invigilator. They asked me, you come up because we are one person short to look over the participants who are actually candidates who are giving an exam. So I just went in there to help them as a monitoring person for the candidates who are mm, reaching out to them for the job. But because I was getting bored, I started doing that. Paper was which was given to the candidates. And then one of my friends like, how come you are doing it? I said, because I've done computer applications when I did 2007. So like, if you can do this, you are not sitting at home, you are coming to office from tomorrow. That's how it all turned around for me. So they were not my friends, like they were my friends turned into my training company. So that is how, how network opens doors for you. You would never know. So make sure, even when you are, attending some sessions in the conference, make sure to listen to the speaker carefully. Why it is so much important? You might get a chance to meet that speaker later. And, you know, referring just one quote which speaker presented on the stage gets the quick attention of the speaker to you. That's a very, very wicked tip I'm giving you because it works 100%. There are few more things that works like a magic, even when the person was not, on the stage. Or but if you are interested to talk to somebody who are like there are two people talking to each other and you, oh, I really like the way you put it out. May I interrupt you for what you are your point is point blank. I'm sorry, I couldn't help but eavesdrop what how your amazing voice is. So because what people like more than their praises is about listening about themselves. Correct. It is one like you compliment somebody, and it is another one that you tell them how good they are. So these are two different things, but if one doesn't work, second one definitely works. So these are just, to make sure that you get those opportunities which are there in front of you with open doors. Take them. These gives you, and do not leave any speaking opportunities if it comes your way. These things makes the career shift very like 180 degrees. Make sure whenever you're meeting, like in here, if there are 80, 70 participants, make sure you are actually interacting with at least 35 people, and try to find out the collaboration points, partnerships points, how, ANON, how Alpesh reach out to me to become you to come on the in. I'm like more than happy to do it, because I have been associated with so many nonprofits earlier also. That's been my career journey so far. Why giving back is important? Because when I started in the community field, I started with the giving back. When I was asked to be a speaker or a host, I was asked to come give my time over there. So when I contributed my time multiple times as a volunteer, it came back to be multiple folds. Not that I was giving because I expected. It is just that whatever goes in the world comes back to you multiple folds. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be negative, it could be positive. So that is why we are always taught to be, great and positive towards the life, so that it comes back to you. So teaching others reinforces learning. When you are actually planning to teach somebody, so you'll make sure that you will teach them something which you know, or maybe you will learn before you'll teach them. So it's a cycling process, right? Whenever tutor is coming home, they are preparing before coming home to teach a student, because they don't want to waste their or both of them's time. They want to make sure that if they are teaching, that student performs better, right? So, and mentoring builds the leadership circle. If you are either getting mentorship, either you are a mentee or you are a mentor, make sure that if you are learning something from your mentor, make sure to pass it on. Pass it on means it's like a dominoes effect. I don't know how many of you know dominoes effect. Have you heard about the dominoes effect? For those who don't know what is dominoes effect, it's like you touch one stone, but all the other stones keep on falling. So you create like, it's a game for the kids, a little interesting game. You'd go on the net and search what is dominoes. So it's like one stone touches the other, and the other touches third, fourth touches fifth, essay. So make sure that when you are learning something from one person, to pass it on to other and share it with others. That becomes a dominoes effect, and the learning circle continues, and it comes back to you in multiple folds. So the people who might you have taught something unrelatably come back to you and teach you something better. Like I still learn with my kids a lot. So communities become self-sustaining. So that's how it becomes self-sustaining, when you are open for sharing and learning. Okay, no matter where you are starting, because I started after 15 years of a gap, and I am at a, I can say I'm still learning, but I am confident now that I can learn. So seek communities early, since you are on in an early stage, and ask for the help without shame. Nobody is judging you. It is a safe space, and whatever you have learned, share it out loud. Maybe on the socials, on the other platforms you are, I don't know where current students are, but make sure that you share that what you learned and from whom you have learned. So both the things come back to you. It, like, you get to share what you have learned, so the people who are seeking that particular skill can come to you if they need a person to perform that skill in their companies. And if you're sharing that you have learned from that person, if somebody seeking the same skill can come to you, ask you that, or can go to the mentor you have learned it from. So make sure you make it a circle. Do not just stop it, because earth is also round, right? So yeah, thank you so much, tech team. Can we go to the next slide? These are just the small steps we have explained here. You do not need to be a big platform. Even the smallest conversation make the uh, best relationship in the longer term. So you can say बहुत कम ingredient से भी बहुत अच्छा खाना बनता है कई बारी, right? So minimum ingredients make the best dishes sometimes. Make sure to use them well. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me so patiently. I would just wrap it here. And if you have any questions, I'm open for it.
Yes, definitely, Pallavi. There are a few questions for the teachers. One such question that I was thinking that we should answer is about these days being in the networking or being a mentor. It's more of a feeling of a competition. Priyanka Verma ma'am has asked for ma'am, but nowadays competition has replaced peer learning and progress has lost its human touch. We are chasing to win and forget how to learn together.
Uh, I mean, it's a very nice question, though. But I say I have been blessed, or in the peer circle, I'm seeing even the today's generation. You won't believe, but my daughter wakes up whole night because one of her friends' result was about to come up at 3:30 in the morning. So she waited, not just she, their whole gang. They were like sitting alert कि रिजल्ट आने वाला है उदय का, हमको बैठना है, उसका येल का रिजल्ट आ रहा है. तो आई एम सीइंग कि इनफैक्ट अब तो ये जनरेशन भी बहुत सपोर्टिव हो रही है, जबकि हम सोचते हैं कि ये लोग बहुत सेल्फ सेंटर्ड हैं जो अपने बाद की जनरेशन है. तो आई डोंट बिलीव कि ऐसा है. यू विल फाइंड योर पीपल एट द राइट टाइम. इट इज जस्ट दैट you might have had some not so good experiences. That is ought to happen. Just take them as a learning and always see that this was not for me. That is why it is I'm not there.
कंपटीशन किससे करेंगे? आई अंडरस्टैंडिंग. आप 100 लोगों से कर लोगे, आप 1000 लोगों से कर लोगे. देयर इज नो कंपैरिजन.
Yeah,
दैट इज
I mean,
व्हाई.
everybody has their individual journey. That is true.
यस.
But of course, only you are your competition. Think it like that and go ahead and ask. इन मतलब आप तो बिंदास पूछो. एक रैंडी पॉश करके राइटर है, उनकी एक बुक है द लास्ट लेक्चर. उसमें ब्यूटिफुली एक्सप्लेन किया गया है कि अगर आप नहीं पूछोगे तब आपको आंसर नहीं पता है, बट एटलीस्ट आप पूछ लोगे तो आपको सही आंसर पता चल जाएगा. सही या गलत वो बाद में होगा, बट एटलीस्ट आपको कुछ तो पता चलेगा. तो डू नॉट जस्ट अज्यूम कि नहीं ही होगा.
Okay, let's take the last question from Namita ma'am. Yes, Namita ma'am.
So, what all input I learned today, ma'am, I want to share it from my experiences. When I was small, I read a story and I got that mantra in my mind. So, everything happens for a reason.
Oh,
So,
you
let it go karna is very necessary. Until you'll not let it go, you won't be able to move on. And I think let each other grow. If you're working at a place, you should as we plant water to the, to the plants. We are in our surrounding, we should help our people, our colleague, and you should try to be into their shoes. And I think I do it that way, and I make very strong connections. And those connections, ma'am, may lead me like after 20 years also, they'll recall me once because I believe this truly works on
I
this planet.
mean, I can't be more happier what you quoted here, Namita ma'am.
Thank you.
Everything happens for a reason is my living mantra. I even have it tattooed here. Okay, that's not something to show, but then I'm just being honest. That's what you quoted is the way of living I live with. And I truly believe that it has its own way of coming back.
Pallavi ma'am, while listening to your session, one question stood out with me. How can students and early professionals intentionally build meaningful networks and find the right mentors, especially when starting from scratch?
See, when you are starting, you have to be really honest with yourself, what you are seeking. If you know what you are seeking, you will find the right mentor. right? And trust me, when you are actually seeking something, this that comes to you when you are ready, like to accept it. And to find the right mentors, there are so many ways. I can tell you, if there is somebody who you think that will be the right mentor for you, there are so many channels now. The world has opened up for you. You can reach out to them on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on other platforms like Twitter or somewhere else. And I believe that people in today's generation are quite helpful and pretty supportive of the new generation. Like whatever ideas they have, we listen to them very carefully and very patiently, and we give the feedback in a progressive way, how they can change or how they can survive, and how they can create their own spaces. Nowadays, even I can say that the freshers are coming up more, more creative ideas for the startups instead of the people who have been there in the industry for 20 years. So this is something which actually freshers like you are teaching us, I would say. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that wonderful and clear answer.
What a lovely evening. What an insightful session today, conversation. So, on behalf of ANON Global Foundation, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to Miss Pallavi Sharma for beautifully leading our first episode of season 4 on the power of community, mentorship, and networking. Your insights really reminded us that growth is never a solitary journey. It is nurtured through connection, guidance, and the strength of a supportive community. You also helped us see mentorship not just as a role, but as a shared responsibility that lifts everyone involved. And specifically, I loved the pay it forward formula. So we hope we all keep that in mind. Thank you for inspiring us to believe in the power of walking together and growing together, a value that lies at the heart of Anon. We also thank all our participants and educators for being an engaged and thoughtful community, and also deep gratitude and appreciation for all our interns and the backend team that has been working tirelessly to bringing this whole scene, all everything together. Thank you very much, with gratitude and appreciation from a non-global foundation. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for the beautiful vote of thanks and inspiring words. This marks the close of session 1 of Anon Ki Paathshala season 4. Let's move forward remembering that community builds confidence, mentorship builds direction, and networking builds opportunity. Thank you and goodbye.